Welcome back to the Hunter Chef channel. I'm making wild boar sausage today. I was just in Mississippi hunting wild pigs at night with thermals. Heck of a lot of fun, let me tell you. So you can see, this is the wild boar. It's like a dark purple in color. And this is farmed pig. And it's got a lot lighter pink color and tons more fat. This is actually the belly, so it's one of the fattiest parts of the pig. And I've got 10 pounds of wild boar and 6 pounds of fatty pork belly. We're gonna grind them together, put them through a mixer, and then the stuffer. This is a 1 horsepower grinder, so it is a beefsteak. You can put through pretty large chunks, and it is, as you can see, quite large. So it can handle a lot. One of the tricks with sausage is you wanna make sure all the meat is really cold. So this just came from the fridge. Some guys like to put the grinder parts in the freezer. This is a dual grinder, so it's actually got 2 plates inside to make it go through really quick. And I find you don't really need to freeze it because it's not really in there overworking itself. It goes through like butter. The main thing is that all the meat and your equipment is cold. All right, now the meat's ground, we're gonna transfer it to a mixer to incorporate our seasonings to get the texture right. Got some fennel, some really coarse pink salt, chili peppers, and some maple syrup. Okay, we got a 20-pound meat mixer. I'm gonna add all of our wild boar and pork belly into here. And this has like an axle in the middle with like these arms. Makes the meat mix evenly, and it'll incorporate all the spices. You know, emulsify the fat with the meat a little bit as it's mixing. I'm gonna add a cup of ice cubes just to kind of cool down the meat a little bit, but it's also gonna add that liquid into the mix and give it a little softer texture. Okay, so I think it's mixed enough now. There's kind of a nice sort of even blend of the fat with the meat. And you can do a little seasoning check. Just take a little handful, make a little patty, and just fry it in a frying pan. And you can test your seasonings and just see if you want to tweak it with anything. So we'll make sure there's no pink. Because it is wild boar, it could potentially have trichinosis, any other parasites in it. Wild boar scavengers. So it's cooked through. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Salt's nice. We got fennel, maple syrup's coming through. It's really good. Okay, so these are natural hog intestines. Kind of standard, regular size sausage casing. It'll be like 1/2 inch wide. You could do collagen casings, you could do synthetic casings. I just kind of always use natural hog casing. I got these at a Portuguese butcher shop across the street from Antler. You could pretty well ask any butcher in a small butcher shop. If they don't carry them, they'll be able to order you some. They come packed in salt, so it's just advisable to soak them for 1/2 an hour just to rehydrate them because the salt has sucked out all the moisture. So I've had these soaking, they're rehydrated, rinsed out the salt, and they come in these kind of bundles, and they're a little knotted. So I'm gonna untangle these and feed them onto my funnel. So I just wet my tube here to help the casing slide on better. And I've left the tail end in the water. So again, just to keep it wet and hydrated. So you get a rhythm going, you can do it pretty quickly. This is how I do it. All right, we're happy with our mix. It's nicely combined. Seasonings are right. We're gonna add it to our stuffer. One little trick, you can see the air is starting to bubble up. Let's have a little pin. You can poke the air out. So you can control how firm the sausage is by letting the casing off with your hands. And you don't want it too tight because we're going to twist them into links. And if they're too tight, they'll pop. So you want them firm, but little air pockets is okay. We'll go through with the pin. So these machines are for like hobbyists like me. You know, you can definitely use these in a professional kitchen, but at butcher shops and more commercial businesses, they're using giant automated mechanical sausage stuffers, mixers, things like that. But for the home cook, these are more than enough. It's huge. I think this is a 10-pound. This is a 20-pound. More than enough for home. So if you love butchery, the made with meat equipment is amazing. So I found it was kind of too loose, so what I just did was you can just squeeze it, push it down, and then bring it back up. Or if you still find it's too loose when you get to the twisting stage, you just twist them really tight. Just going to take the pin again, poke in the air bubbles. The meat's not going to come out because it's such a small pinprick, but it's just going to allow the air to escape while we're twisting. There you go. That's sausage. Every couple sausages you kind of go the other way, avoids them from getting too tight. You just kind of measure them by hand. And what also is kind of cool is like, see this coil here, you can twist it off and tie it off, put a skewer through and just grill it as a nice big coil, which is kind of cool. There's a little bit of a rip. That's okay, we've got more casings to do. What I do is I just push the meat out, put it back in the mixer, and then just twist off behind the rip. So that's how easy it is. There's our maple fennel and chili sausage with wild boar and pork belly. You can definitely eat these right away, but if you let these sort of air dry and cure overnight, the texture will kind of firm up. They'll lose some of that moisture on the skin. If you have room to hang them, which most people in our house do not, but if you've got access to a cooler, really nice touch to let them air dry and hang overnight before packaging. All right, our sausages are done. We're just gonna grill them on the barbecue. Got the barbecue at about 600 degrees. All right, so these are looking good. They're not exploding, so that means we didn't do it too tight. If you wind them up too tight, they'll sometimes pop on the grill. They're not bursting out of the ends, so the little, kind of dried them out for a couple hours in the fridge before grilling them so that the end is sort of dried a little bit, and those are looking good. All right, so because these are made with real hunted wild boar, you just want to make sure that they're cooked to at least 165 internal. See how these taste. Look at that texture. That's what mixing the meat properly does, is it binds the fat in with the meat. You get a uniform texture, it's not crumbly. You can kind of see some of the fennel and chili in there. That's so hot. I'm gonna admit, flavor on those are just perfect. It's so simple: chili, fennel, maple syrup, salt. You don't have to, reinvent the wheel to make sausages. It's super simple. Guys, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you like my sausage recipe. See you in the next one.